The defensive play blocked.
Be able to, be around family for Thanksgiving.
Welcome back to the Connecticut Suns 2025 schedule release. The offseason saw a lot of turbulent weather, which we have used to predict the season ahead. So now let's take a look at our 12-team summer forecast for 2025. We're going to take a look at Indiana first, where things really heated up last summer. But despite that, the overall weather should feel quite a bit similar to how Connecticut felt last year. Now, if we take a look just up the road in Chicago, we're forecasting typically windy conditions, but we do know that weather here tends to change quickly, so that wind may not last too long. For our night sky report, we're going to jump down to Phoenix, where you should catch Mercury out tonight. Now, we've gotten a lot of questions about whether the North Star will be visible like it has been for the last 20 years, but it's hard to say as of right now. Sticking here in the desert, I'd like to touch on a reported earthquake that struck the greater Las Vegas region recently. The magnitude peaked at 4.0, which wasn't enough to cause any significant damage, but definitely resulted in a noticeable shakeup. Down in the typically sunny Los Angeles, they've been going through a little bit of a rough patch of storms and have been hoping things would look better by February. We're still forecasting better conditions than right now, but not quite as good as it could have been. Meanwhile, in Dallas, it's looking like they've taken that good weather from LA, and we're looking at much better conditions in the coming months. Now, out in the Golden State, we're seeing a major fog layer settle over the region. It's blocking out our view of the area, but I'm sure we're all excited to see what it will look like when that fog does clear. Moving up the West Coast, we're seeing a predictable storm pattern developing over the Seattle region. I mean, what else do you expect? Over here in the capital, we're seeing a typical front of warm air forming over the water, pushing up onto the cold land, which will lead to a thick layer of Washington mist in the morning. Atlanta is going through a little bit of a heat wave, and we'll see essentially tropical conditions, not too dissimilar to what you would find on the Florida Gulf Coast. Going way up north, the greater Minnesota region is in the middle of a bitter cold front right now. It was looking a little bit like they might be due for some pleasant conditions, but they just missed out on that system. And finally, over in New York, they're currently experiencing some of the best conditions they've ever had. Clear skies, mild temperatures, the works. But of course, I don't have to tell you that because I'm sure they'll keep reminding us all season long. Now, lots of change coming in the next few months, but for the most part, sunny conditions will continue for the rest of the season. Dejanay, back to you.
Thanks, Kayla. The sun will rise again in Boston this season. Stay tuned for more information after the break.